Okay, we're trying to do the FM radio on this thing this time. This is FM. The only thing you can get out of it is this weird squealing sound. Not sure why that's happening. Tried reseating the little decoder chip just in case it was something simple like that, but no luck. So right now what I was trying to do is check the IF by generating the 10.7 megahertz signal with my signal generator. 10.7 there, and it doesn't pick anything up. Where's my little tool? You can't hear anything. Excuse me. Totally indifferent to what I do. Absolutely does not pick up the signal generator. Because if this was a front end problem, like the local oscillator or something in the front before the IF, I think the IF should still be able to pick up the 10.7 IF frequency off of the signal generator anyway. So the problem seems to be in the IF stage somewhere and not the front end of the radio. You can hear that it's doing all kinds of weird crap. And yeah, no matter where I tune or anything, this thing doesn't care. There's absolutely nothing. No one's home. So next thing I did was to check voltages on all the transistors in the radio circuit. One set of measurements for AM, one set of measurements for FM. Tier 1 and Tier 2 are these two over here, which I think make up the FM front end, because when this thing's on AM, all voltages are 0. When I switch it to FM, the voltages show up. The one that turned up weird is TR105, which has 0 volts on AM and practically 0 volts on FM. These voltages seem really low and don't coincide with, the sort of measurements I'm getting from the other transistors. And TR5 is this guy right here. I measure it around and trying to figure out where it gets its voltage from. Haven't quite figured it out yet. But all around this area I can't find any voltages like the ones I get over here, which are like around 6 volts, 2 volts, etc. Everything here is like below 0.6 volts, or rather 0.06 volts. And so I'm trying to figure out where it gets its voltage from, and I thought maybe it gets its voltage through a coil or something, and what I did find is that this coil seems to be open. So I need to check on that and see where the source voltage is supposed to be coming from in the first place, and if this is indeed open, which I think it is because I already did a continuity check and I don't get anything. I don't think it's. I thought maybe my probes weren't making proper contact, but yeah, no, this thing, I'm pretty sure it's open, unless it's got some weird configuration, which I doubt. And so this thing's open. If this is open, I hope it didn't, happen because of some kind of an excessive current draw that blew the coil open or something. So I can't find anything obvious. I already checked the transistor, nothing wrong there. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that coil reading open. First, now I hope you can hear my multimeter beeping for continuity. This is a good one. That's like the secondary or primary, and this is the other side. Continuity. This here is the one that's in question, and it gets nothing out of it no matter which side I test or anything. There's absolutely nothing. The thing is that it doesn't seem to be getting voltage itself, even though if it was open I would expect to see some kind of voltage on one of its sides, but I'm not finding anything at all. But I mean, why would this thing be open? Okay, so I take back what I said about the coil. It measures continuity in like a cross pattern. Like these two I think measure continuity with this pin, and this pin measures continuity with this pin, or something like that, like an X type of thing. So it's trying to trace where that 0.06 voltage, which is the highest voltage that goes to the collector, comes from. So first it goes into this coil here, the one that we were thinking was open. Comes from this coil here, comes through here, up here, and this right here across here is a choke, and it seems to be open. I'll demonstrate that. Okay, so let me see if I can show you this. Here's where the collector of that transistor gets its voltage from. You can see it's 0.06. Trace it here, comes out of here, 0.06, comes into here, 0.06, goes here, 0.06, and so across here is a choke from over here. I measure here 0.06, I measure on the other side of the choke, and it's 7.8 volts. Oops, yeah, 7.8 volts on that side of the choke, 0.06 on this. There's continuity check across the choke. Nothing's happening, totally open. You can see my multimeter set for continuity. So yeah, that choke seems open, which is kind of bad news because I don't know what kind of a choke that is. I don't know what value it's supposed to be. There's no service info for this thing, so it's a complete mystery. It seems to like filter out, you know, the B plus supply or whatever. So maybe if it's open like somewhere like along the, you know, where it connects to its pins or something, maybe one of the wires is loose or something, like somewhere here. If something like that was wrong, that'd be easy to fix. Hopefully, you know, that's the case, because if that thing's open somewhere internally, other than rewinding it, or maybe somebody giving me a general idea what a good choke or value for that would be, you know, there's no way of replacing that. My only worry is that maybe this went open because something was drawing way too much current across it, because this thing seems to like, it probably keeps RF off of the B plus line or something like that. So I hope something wasn't pulling too much current through it or something. For obvious shorts and stuff like that, there's no diode shorted, no transistor shorted. That one transistor seems to be the only thing that feeds off of this. The rest of them get their B plus voltage from somewhere else. So I just kind of very gently try to lift that wire, and it's broken. Look at that. So that's promising. Let's see if I can solder that thing back. Alright, there it is back in place. Let's see what happens. I'm still not getting anything. Still getting the weird whining sound. Doesn't feel like it's overheating or anything like that. I noticed that this gets a little bit hot. I wonder if the oscillation is coming from here. This is the stereo decoder. Over here there's a tab for FM mono. You can see if I can find anything there, and I'm going to recheck my voltages. Okay, so we're getting radio now. I'm probing the FM mono output that's provided there, and I'm listening to it on my... This is a homemade signal generator and tracer, by the way. I'll probably do a video on it. But you can hear the radio, although it's a little bit weak. And I can tune it. So I did two things. One is I added an antenna, a clip lead, and that started playing. But first I took out the FM decoder chip because I think there's something wrong with it. I think it's bad. I stuck this guy in here so I could probe pin 1, which is where the audio comes into the decoder. And let me try and stick that back in, but I think it's bad because it gets a little bit hot, and when I take it out it stops making those weird whining noises. So I think that guy's bad. Okay, so I put the chip back in, and I am actually getting audio out of the speaker. Although it's very quiet, that's full volume. But I mean, at least something's working. What I did screw up though, is I wasn't going to move these two things because I think this is the discriminator circuit or whatever, and I think you need an oscilloscope to set that. I did mark them, but I didn't pay too much attention to how many turns I did. So I kind of screwed that up. I shouldn't have messed with it. Hopefully I can do something about it, but I tried tweaking it, it's not making it any louder. The other thing is I tried 10.7 IF frequency on the signal generator, and it falls at a weird spot. I think it falls at like 12 or 13 megahertz or something. So something is still kind of weird there. It's still making that whining noise when I put the chip back in. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's there. Pretty sure that's due to this guy, because if I take it out it's fine, and right now it's hot. It's getting normal voltage too, so I think that thing's bad. I'm going to try and get a replacement. Hopefully it's not something else in the circuit. I think it's just a chip. I think I might have one in a junk chassis. I'm going to look for one, and I'll pop it in and see what happens.